Hello, Happy New Year, and a massive welcome to the very first episode of the Strategic Health Check. I'm your host, Jose Gain, founder of Gain Strategic Fundraising, and I'm absolutely buzzing to be here with you today. If you're a charity leader, a fundraiser, or a board member working in the UK's incredible health charity sector, and you've ever felt a bit overwhelmed, a bit stretched thin, or just thought to yourself, there has to be a smarter way to do this, well, you're in exactly the right place. Because I'm here to tell you there absolutely is a smarter way. And that's what this podcast is all about. Now, before we dive into today's topic, I want to share a little story with you. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, it was actually just a few years back in the UK. I was a door-to-door fundraiser. Yep, out on the streets, clipboard in hand, rain or shine, and mostly rain, knocking on doors and talking to strangers about why they should support a charity. And you know what? I absolutely loved it. There's something magical about that moment when you connect with someone, when their eyes light up because you've touched on something they genuinely care about. I got to meet the most incredible people, hear their stories, and learn what really motivates people to give. And I did pretty well at it too. All modesty aside, I actually managed to break the record for the most donors ever acquired in a single week for the National Deaf Children's Society in the UK. I'm still quite proud of that one. But here's the thing, and this is where it's important. That experience taught me something fundamental about fundraising, something that I carry with me to this day. Fundraising isn't about knocking on doors. It's about opening them. It's about making a genuine human connection. It's about understanding what matters to people and showing them how they can be part of something meaningful. And that's what this podcast is all about. Every 2 weeks, we're going to give your charity's fundraising a proper strategic health check. We'll cut through the noise, ditch the jargon, and give you practical, actionable advice that you can actually use right away. No fluff, no BS, no theory for theory's sake, just real strategies that work. Think of me as your fundraising friend, someone who's literally been in the trenches, who gets the challenges you face, and who's here to help you work smarter, not harder. So grab yourself a cuppa, get comfy, or enjoy your commute, and let's talk about funding fundamentals. Right. So why are we starting with the absolute basics? Why quote unquote funding fundamentals for our very first episode? Well, here's the thing. The fundraising world is a bit wobbly, to say the least, at the moment, isn't it? And I don't say that to scare you. I say it because understanding the landscape is the first step to navigating it successfully. The Charities Aid Foundation actually released their UK giving report recently, and the findings are really quite eye opening. For the first time ever, the proportion of people donating to charity in the UK has dropped to just 50%. That's down from 58% just a few years ago. To put that into perspective for you, that's approximately 4 million fewer donors out there. 4 million. That's a lot of people who used to give but aren't giving anymore. And it gets more concerning when you look at the younger generation. Only 36% of 16 to 24-year-olds say they donated or sponsored someone in the past year. That's a decline of about a third since 2007. A third! These are the donors of the future, and we're losing them. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Jose, this is all a bit doom and gloom for a first episode. But stay with me, because here's where it gets interesting. The same research shows that health charities, that's you, my lovely listeners, are in an incredibly strong position. Health is the single most funded cause area in the UK. People gave a staggering £2.2 billion to health charities last year. That's more than any other cause. More than children's charities, more than animal welfare, more than international development. The reality is that people want to help support health causes. They believe in what you do. Your work touches their lives, their families, their communities. Health is personal. Health is universal. And ultimately, that gives you a massive, massive advantage. So, the challenge for us, especially those of us working in small to mid sized health charities, isn't that people don't care. They absolutely do. The challenge is, how do we connect with those people in a crowded, noisy world with a shrinking pool of donors? How do we stand out? How do we build sustainable income without burning ourselves out or chasing every shiny new fundraising trend? The answer, my friends, is by getting the fundamentals right. It's about building a rock solid foundation so that no matter what the world throws at you, whether it's economic uncertainty, changing donor behavior, whatever comes next, your fundraising stays strong, grounded, and resilient. It's time to get back to basics, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. At Gain Strategic, we believe that all successful and crucially all ethical fundraising is built on three core pillars. And today I want to share them with you. I call this the health check mindset. Ready? Let's dive in. Pillar number 1, know your why and your who. This sounds so simple, doesn't it? Almost too simple. But I promise you, this is the step that most charities skip. And it's the step that makes all the difference. We get so caught up in the what we do, the services we provide, the research we fund, the patients we support, that we forget to talk about why it matters. We assume people understand, we assume they get it, but they don't, not automatically. Your mission, your core purpose, your reason for existing, that's your fundraising superpower. That's what sets you apart from the thousands of other charities out there competing for attention. Before you write a single grant application, before you plan a single event, before you send a single appeal letter, you need to be crystal clear on your why. And you need to be able to articulate it in a way that makes people feel something. Not just understand it intellectually, but really feel it in their gut. Here's a question for you. Can you articulate your charity's unique impact in one single compelling sentence, not a paragraph, not a page, one sentence. If you can't do that, how can you expect a potential donor to get it? How can you expect them to remember you when they're bombarded with hundreds of other messages every single day? And just as important as knowing your why is knowing your who. Who are the people most likely to care about your mission? Who are your ideal supporters? And here's the crucial bit, it's not everyone. Trying to appeal to everyone is the fastest way to appeal to no one. You end up with messaging that's so generic, so watered down, that it doesn't resonate with anyone. As a health charity, you have a massive advantage here. Your cause is inherently personal. It's about people's lives, their families, their futures. So, who are your people? Are they grateful patients who've experienced your services firsthand? Are they families who've been through a health crisis and want to give back? Are they people who are passionate about medical research and scientific progress? Are they healthcare professionals who see the gaps in the system? Get specific. Create a vivid picture of your ideal supporter. Give them a name if that helps, and then talk directly to them. When you do that, your fundraising becomes so much more powerful. Right, pillar number 2, diversify your income streams. Okay, let's have an honest conversation here. How many of you are relying on just one or two main sources of funding? Maybe it's a big grant that's been renewed year after year. Maybe it's one amazing and annual event that brings in a huge chunk of your income. Maybe it's a handful of major donors who've been incredibly generous. It feels great when that money comes in, doesn't it? It's a relief. It keeps the lights on. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It's also incredibly risky. What happens if that grant doesn't get renewed? What happens if your key contact at the foundation moves on and the new person has different priorities? What happens if it absolutely buckets down on the day of your outdoor event? That means rain for those of us who didn't know. What happens if one of your major donors has a change in circumstances? Putting all your eggs in one basket is a recipe for sleepless nights. That's just me being honest. And I've seen it happen too many times. Charities that were doing brilliantly, and then one funding stream dried up and they were in crisis mode. A healthy fundraising strategy is a diverse one. Think of it like a balanced diet for your charity. You need a mix of different nutrients. Sorry, income streams to stay strong and resilient. So, what are the main income streams you should be thinking about? First, there's individual giving. That's your bread and butter. Regular donations, one off gifts, appeals, online giving. These are the everyday supporters who believe in your cause. Then there's trusts and foundations. These are the grant makers, from small local trusts to huge national foundations. They can provide significant funding, often for specific projects or programs. Corporate partnerships are another avenue. Working with businesses that share your values and want to support your work, whether that's through sponsorship, employee fundraising, or cause related marketing. Community and events fundraising brings people together for your cause. everything from bake sales and sponsored walks to gala dinners and challenge events. And last but not least, legacy giving, when someone leaves a gift to your charity in their will. This is often overlooked by smaller charities, but it can be absolutely transformational. Now, before you panic and think, Jose, we can barely manage what we're doing now, let alone add 5 new income streams, take a breath. I'm not saying you need to do all of these at once. That would be madness. The key is to start where you are. Look at what you're already doing and ask yourself, honestly, what's the next logical step? If you have a lot of individual supporters making one off gifts, could you start a regular giving program to turn those into monthly donations? If you have strong community connections, could you approach a local business about a partnership? Start small, build momentum, and over time, you'll create a much more stable and sustainable financial future for your charity. One that doesn't keep you up at night worrying about what happens if one thing falls through. Pillar number 3 of 3. Build relationships, not just databases. This is actually the one that's closest to my heart. It's the secret I learned all those years ago on the doorstep, and it's the foundation of everything we do at Gain Strategic. Fundraising is about people, full stop. It's about building genuine, meaningful relationships with your supporters. They are not cash machines. Let me repeat that. They are not cash machines. They are also not just names on a spreadsheet or a CRM. They are partners in your mission. They are people who care about the same things you care about. But so often we forget this. We get caught up in targets and databases and automated emails. We send out generic, mindless, faceless appeals, and then we're surprised when people don't respond. Or worse, and this one really gets me, we don't even say thank you properly. Remember that CAF report I mentioned earlier? It found that 1 in 10 charities don't even thank new donors who give less than £10. 1 in 10, and almost 1 in 5 don't thank donors who give less than £5. That's shocking to me. Absolutely shocking. How can we expect someone to give again if we don't even acknowledge their first gift? How can we build a relationship if we don't start with a simple thank you? I'm talking a simple, heartfelt, and prompt thank you. It's the single most important thing you can do in fundraising. I really, really believe that. It's not just good manners, though it is that too. It's the start of a conversation. It's the beginning of a relationship. It tells your donor, we see you, we appreciate you, you matter to us. And then you need to keep that conversation going. Show your donors the incredible impact their money is having. Tell them stories about the people they're helping. Make them the hero of the story, because they are. Without their support, you literally couldn't do what you do. Now, when you take those actions, you're not just asking for a transaction. You're inviting them to be part of something amazing. You're building a community of people who are invested in your success. And here's the beautiful thing about this approach. A supporter who feels valued and connected is a supporter who will stay with you for the long haul. They'll give again. They'll even give more. They'll tell their friends. They might even give you a gift in their will. That's not just good ethics, that's brilliant fundraising. Okay, so we've covered our 3 pillars. 1, know your why and your who. 2, diversify your income streams. And 3, build relationships, not just databases. Now it's your turn. It's time for your first piece of homework. Don't worry, it's not scary, I promise. I call it the Funding Fundamentals Audit. It's just 3 simple questions I want you to think about over the next couple of weeks before our next episode. Ready? You might want to grab a pen for this. Question number 1, mission clarity. Can you articulate your charity's unique impact in one single compelling sentence? I want you to actually write it down and then practice saying it out loud. Does it feel right? Does it capture what makes you special? If not, just keep working on it. Question number 2, income diversity. What percentage of your total income comes from your top 3 funding sources? Now, be honest with yourself here. Add it up. If it's more than 70%, that's a warning sign. You've got some work to do on diversification. And question number 3, donor relationships. When was the last time you personally thanked your top 10 donors? And I mean a proper personal thank you. A phone call, a handwritten card, a personal email that's clearly not a template, not just a standard automated receipt. When was the last time you made them feel truly appreciated? Okay, so that's it. 3 questions for your homework. Answering them honestly is the first step in giving your fundraising a proper strategic health check. For want of a better word, it's my prescription for you. And I'd love to hear how you get on. Feel free to drop me a message on LinkedIn or via email at jose@gainstrategic.co.uk. And that's a wrap on our very first episode of the Strategic Health Check. Thank you so much for joining me today. It means the world that you've chosen to spend this time with me. Let's quickly recap what we've covered. We've talked about the fundraising landscape, the challenges, but also the incredible opportunities for health charities. And we dived into the 3 fundamental pillars of a healthy fundraising strategy: knowing your why and your who, diversifying your income streams, and building real, genuine relationships with your supporters. Now, I know that was a lot to take in for me as well. So what I've done, I've put together a handy PDF summary of everything we've talked about today, including the funding fundamentals audit questions. You can get it sent straight to your inbox by signing up on our website at gainstrategic.co.uk. That's GAIGN strategic.co.uk. And while you're there, if you're feeling like you could use a bit of side-by-side support to put these ideas into action, why not book a free, no obligation discovery call with me? I'd absolutely love to chat about your charity, your challenges, and how we will be able to help you thrive. That's what we do at Gain Strategic. We work alongside you, not just for you. Make sure you hit subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss our next episode in 2 weeks' time. We'll be taking a deep dive into the art of storytelling and how you can use it to inspire more people to support your incredible work. Trust me, you won't want to miss that one. Until then, be kind to yourselves. Take a moment to celebrate the amazing work you're already doing and keep making a difference in people's lives. You've been listening to the Strategic Health Check with me, Jose Gain. This podcast is a Gain Strategic Fundraising Limited production. See you in 2 weeks.